Nate, do you believe in tabletop RPGs?
I don't think so.
Well, you're in one, sucker!
You might have redlined on that.
I probably did. And welcome back, ladies and gents, to the Tabletop Shop podcast featuring Nate Clark, which is not me, it's the other dude. Say hi,
Hey.
Nate. Hey. And Cody Pennington, which is me, the other dude, which is me.
What's up, Cody? What's up? I'm pretty happy right now, actually.
How are you pretty happy?
Yeah.
Why, dude, why are you happy? I mean, not that that's a bad thing, but tell me more. I want to know more about your life.
Honestly, it has nothing to do with my life. I think I just...
What? Why are you happy then?
No, well, I guess that's not an entirely accurate statement. I think I just enjoy recording and talking all things games. Whether it's a normal episode or whether it's an RPG episode or whatever, I think it just makes me happy.
You know what? It makes me happy too. Part of it is Saturday, and I like Saturdays because Saturdays make me happy. But yeah, it's so fun not preparing for things. You know what I mean? I like coming into RPG recording sessions having put like minimal to no thought into it in advance so that we could just ad lib and roll with it.
Do you feel any stress? I feel like this is already like a live Q&A, not live, like a Q&A. Do you feel any stress coming into it, or are you just like no pressure, no stress, just go with it?
Let me take you down this road, Nate. I do feel a little bit of stress. But I've learned to just not care, because when I feel stressed about preparing for RPGs, it doesn't actually inspire me to work any harder at it. I just sort of accept I'm just gonna produce whatever I produce in the moment, and I'm fine with that.
Well, you know what? Let's produce some more, Cody.
Okay, cool. That's great, because we're starting a new one-pager today. Who knows? This may be one episode. This will probably be 2 episodes, which it just depends how quickly we go through this. Nate, are you ready for the name of this custom RPG? And again, audience, just so you know, all the RPGs that we're doing on this podcast, at least for now, maybe that'll change someday, are all custom. They are designed by yours truly, and anything we do will be available for download if you want to try playing it yourself for free from our website, tabletopshop.wixsite.com.
Ba-da-bum.
Yeah, throw a little jingle in there. So the title of our today's... Help me out. Fix my sentence structure, Nate.
Just take the hour out.
Okay, yeah. Save us from the science devils, oh bear god.
Sounds like the beginning of a hymn.
And Chris Tomlin will come through and make a chorus for it.
And then cue the Halo monks, which is actually just Marty O'Donnell. Cue that in the background.
If again, Nate, if we can get Marty O'Donnell on this show, I'll just be done. I'll just make that the last episode, and it'll be fine.
There might be some people in the audience who you just convinced them to get him on the show. Then
Nate, what if we got Marty O'Donnell to make us just like a 15-second jingle for our RPGs?
Ooh, dude, that would be legendary. You have to try.
That'd be awesome. Legendary difficulty, maybe.
All right. You know what?
Halo reference.
Let's get off this. Okay. Let's get off this heroic rabbit trail and back into the content.
Back to a normal.
Yeah, we're not supposed to do rabbit trails on our RPG episodes.
Well, there actually could be rabbits in this game because it's relevant. Okay, are you ready for the backstory of what's going on here? Please. Why on earth it's called Save Us from the Science Devils, oh bear god?
Please.
And just so you know, that's O like apostrophe, just a single O. Like, there's no H there because we don't need that. It's a hymn after all.
I disagree. I think there should be an OH.
Okay. Well, I'm going to explain this by reading to you the tiny paragraph that is straight from the one-pager that I'm looking at right now. It's the coherent backstory that explains everything that's going on right now, Nate. You are a woodland creature preparing to celebrate the winter holiday of thanks to the great bear god who sleeps in the mountain. Suddenly, evil scientists disrupt your pleasant day to kidnap you and steal you away for their dastardly experiments. And that's what we're working with here. Within this fantastical game, you are going to play not just one character, you're going to play 3 characters. Technically, you could play this game with a DM and up to 3 players, where each player controls one little character, but it doesn't work for you just to have a single creature that you are. So You, by yourself, will actually just control, I suppose, the personalities of 3 little forest creatures.
Okay.
And this is actually a pre-staged system. So there are 4 specific stages that you will play through, I guess with maybe sort of a prologue. But after you complete every stage, you get a certain number of level up points based on how many creatures you have left in your party.
Okay.
So if you keep your boys together, or maybe there's some girls in there, I don't know, it's up to you, then it's good. It's better. So we're going to start this off. Do you have a D12? No,
I do.
Wait, I'm sorry. Do you have a D6 as well?
I also have that.
Okay. Are you just using Google to roll stuff?
Maybe. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I didn't take my bag of dice when I went to Europe.
Dang it, Nate. I literally got you a heat changing color.
You did, man. That thing's so cool.
Metal D12. That was your last trip.
That would have been all of my carry-on weight, though. So
kind of, yeah. And it's metal, so good luck getting that through. Okay, so this is going to be a D12 system, but to start off, you're just going to roll a D6 to determine who your starting creatures are. There's a different creature for 1 and 2 and 3. And if you get the same number, you're just going to re-roll. You want 3 different creatures total.
Okay.
So
first is a 3.
Okay.
Second is also a 3. Second is a 1. And third is a 4. 3, 1, 4.
All right. So number 3, you have a badger in your party.
Okay.
Number 1, you have a sparrow in your party.
Badger and sparrow. Okay, we got land and air.
Yep. And number 4, you have a porcupine.
Okay, land, air, and sea. Perfect.
Yes, the classic water creature, the porcupine. Now, I would like you to take some time here and name each of these creatures for me, okay?
Okay. So the porcupine. Okay, I've got it. I've got all of it. The badger is going to be named Way Down.
What?
Way Down.
Spell it for me.
Just how it sounds. WAYDOWN. Way Down.
All right. Okay. That's
the sparrow.
Sad, but okay.
Obviously is named Jack. And the porcupine is going to be Horatio Hornblower.
Yes.
I don't know if I would say that's creativity at its best, but, it is what it is.
Explain Way Down. I don't get that reference.
Well, it's a reference to where I am, actually, right now. The name of the place I'm at right now is Wayfaring Down, and they have a lot of badgers here. So,
Really? Have you seen one in person yet?
No, apparently you have to, go out at night and, sit silently for, an hour, and you might see one if you're lucky. So I figured that's not worth it. I'll just look at pictures of them on the internet,
Okay. Well, here's the thing, Nate. This isn't a Nate's Life Story RPG. This is a Save Us from the Science Devils Obergod RPG.
It's almost like I was asked a question. Go on.
Yeah, just whatever. Okay. So your party functions, Nate, as a single unit, which has 3 stats total. So each creature doesn't have individual stats. Your party has stats. So your attributes here are strength, intelligence, and dexterity. Classic, huh?
Okay. Yeah, they are.
So you're going to start at 0 in all stats. But remember, as you progress through the mountain, you get a +1 to any of those per creature you still have in your party per stage.
Okay. So by the 4th stage, I could have 3 +3 on all of them if I'm, amazing at this game.
Well, +4 on all of them. Because 4 times 3 is 12. Divided by 3 is 4. Because science, Nate.
Wait, I don't know. It's not worth it. I feel like I'm a little confused, but I'm sure we'll figure it out.
We'll get there. It's fine. Okay, scientists. These are going to be your main enemy. Scientists have +4 in all stats because they are human and have dope skills, and that's literally what I wrote here originally on this one pager. I made this a couple of years ago, so I'm going down memory lane here as I'm remembering all this. I actually made it with a friend, so this was a duo combo thing.
So any of the parts that suck, you have a scapegoat to blame.
Yeah, I can just blame it on Eric. Just think, Eric Wood, it's his fault.
Yes.
All right. So basically, you're going to be celebrating this winter holiday of thanks to the great bear god, and you're going to get interrupted by a bunch of scientists here in a second. So what you're going to have to do is, amidst the chaos, you're going to have to make your way up the mountain to find the great bear god and have him fight off and potentially kill the scientist for you to save all the little wooden creatures.
Okay.
But be warned, Nate, for the bear god is a fickle creature, and it is going to take efforts to actually awaken him from his slumber. But then you also have to appease him so that he doesn't just turn and kill all of you guys instead of the scientists. So the stages we're going to progress through. Stage 1, you're going to start in the forest. In the forest, you're going to have to find something that you can use to wake up the bear god. There's 3 set options that I will give you at the point that you get to the forest, and you can just choose which one you want to approach. Then you will progress to the river, where here you must acquire something that you can feed the bear god and appease him so that he doesn't just eat you guys, because that's not fun. So there's 3 other options there. Then we're going to hit the mountain. The mountain is a custom area for the DM per game to basically come up with some special challenge, this is literally the only preparation I did for this session, this RPG, was I came up with a special task or challenge for you to complete that may give you some manner of bonus in the rest of the game.
Okay.
Then finally, stage 4 is the bear. You have to wake up the bear, and then if you're successful, you get to acquire the bear, who has +8 to strength and dexterity, and you can use him to slaughter the scientist.
So at that point, it's kind of it's kind of a game over thing anyways, right?
Yeah, I mean, if you roll some nat 1s, then that just kind of sucks, but we'll see what happens, man. What else we got? Again, everything involves a D12 other than the D6 you just used to roll some stuff. We're going to decide, or I will decide for a given check, whether it is easy, medium, or hard. Easy checks require a roll of 4 or higher to pass, and that's cumulative, so you can add your stats to it. Medium is a 7 or higher, and hard is a 10 or higher.
Okay.
Now, here's the catch. Here's where your interesting little creatures come into play. You can roll twice for any action, so you have advantage in any action, that you can argue your specific woodland creature would be naturally skilled at.
Okay.
So if it's, flying, use your sparrow, and you can roll
it's
twice.
Swimming, porcupine.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Like digging, badger. Got it.
I guess you could roll for flying for your badger, but I'd probably make you roll disadvantage on that at that point. I don't know.
Well, I probably won't press the point then.
Okay, that's good. There is no health in this game. So for any attacks that actually happened, attacks is a simple contest. So you will roll, and then the scientist will roll. The highest roll triumphs, and you just re-roll for ties. So every time, if you get in a fight with the scientist and they win, your health is basically your creature. So you just lose a creature, and you go down to 2.
Oh, jeez. So this is more of an evade the scientist than it is combat the scientist.
Yes, you need the bear god in order to fight the scientist. That is your goal.
Okay, I am ready.
All right, Nate. Imagine, if you will, an Everdell-like scene with various tents set up. If forest creatures can somehow make tents, maybe they're just made of thatch roofs and leaves and whatnot, but it really resembles tents. It's really impressive.
They're opposable thumb proofless.
Yeah, I mean there are raccoons in this universe. Don't they have opposable thumbs?
Can neither confirm nor deny.
Okay. Well, you don't have a raccoon in your cadre. That's also a real word. But looking around, there's various festival fare that you may find in a festival. Yes, these forest creatures have learned how to deep fry food, Nate, and it is very impressive. I'm assuming that your creatures have, favorite foods that they like to enjoy, especially of a festival nature, but there's squirrel jugglers who are juggling not squirrels, but they are squirrels that are juggling things. And that is also very impressive, because I don't think squirrels have opposable thumbs, so they kind of just using their little fingers to try to...
You could bump them with your fists, right?
You could what?
Bump them with your fists. That'd be much more difficult.
I suppose, yeah, they're just kind of playing volleyball, or with both 3 volleyballs at once.
And solitaire.
And, well, they also have volleyballs in this universe, I suppose.
All right.
It's all very exciting. I know.
This is some really in-depth world building.
It's a beautiful scene. All these little forest creatures are very happy about their bear god that lives in the mountain because he provides them an overwatch, even though he is hibernating and it's winter. And that's when bear gods hibernate. So what are you doing?
Seamless. I was just going to say, I can't wait till we get to the volleyball factory later on in the campaign and we have a nice callback joke.
Oh, yeah, there'll be some important scenes with that. I think you need to pick a primary character for now, though, that maybe you're seeing through. Because maybe not all your 3 characters are yet joined together in the holy union of a 3-part brain, as you described.
Okay. I'm going to go with Jack the Sparrow as my lead character because it seems like he could be the more useful of the 3. Like, I feel like being airborne is very much a useful trait. So
it is quite the advantage in some parts of life. Okay, so Jack the Sparrow, are you walking around? Are you flying around? How do sparrows navigate festivals?
Oh, he's philosophizing in a corner. He has a nice... He doesn't go for the gratuitous indulgence that the other animals do at this festival, so he has kind of like a nice little cut. You remember from The Hobbit, the movie, not the book, where one of the dwarves gives Gandalf the little tiny thing of wine and he drinks it. That's what he's sipping on, is that.
Okay.
And so he's just kind of sitting in the corner studying the juggling squirrels. Actually, that's what he's doing.
So what's going through his head? Like what is he getting out of this display?
Well, he's trying to figure out, he doesn't find it entertaining, and so he's trying to figure out what the motive is for the squirrels to even have the desire to do this. Like, they've put so much effort into learning how to do something that is almost physically impossible. Doubtless years, their entire life dedicated to learning how to do this, and it comes out as just kind of looking like a parlor trick, So he's like, what's the drive? Why are they doing this?
Hey, do you want to make your first actual roll of the game?
Sure.
This is exciting. Go ahead and roll intelligence, and we'll see what your philosophizing produces.
5. So
5. I mean, this was I should have said before, and this was going to be a medium difficulty check, so you needed a 7 or higher to succeed. But maybe Jack the Sparrow, in the back of his mind as he's viewing these squirrels, is suddenly imagining the dichotomy between capitalism and communism, and he's appreciating that these squirrels have spent their own hard-earned money to purchase these acorns that they're juggling. And it's possible that this display is just a representation of the power of democracy in the face of a potential communist empire as run by the lizard folk downtown.
I feel like that was a lot. I don't even know how to process. I don't think it made sense at all. But
I'm not saying it had to make sense, yo.
It was a 5, so
exactly. Should have rolled a 7.
Yeah.
Just be better.
Okay. Well, that's great. That's what he's doing, I guess.
Okay. Walk us to the badger. Good old way down. What's he up to?
I think we need to go to the porcupine first, actually. Because,
okay.
and you'll see why, because I have plans. The porcupine is also watching the squirrels. Actually, all 3 of the animals are. He's also watching the squirrels. And he is just watching it and thinking it's so beautiful that they've dedicated themselves to this task. And he's so moved by this that he actually decides he wants to attempt to do the same thing.
Ooh.
But he doesn't have any volleyballs or acorns or whatever they're using. And so he actually does it with his own quills. And of course, this, in a way, represents the blood and the sweat that that one has to pour into learning how to do such a great task as this.
Yeah,
and so that's why he's doing it with his quills, because they're stabbing him, which also makes it very hard to juggle.
Yeah. Admittedly, this would be much more impressive if he can successfully start juggling these.
So that's what he's doing.
Okay, roll a dexterity roll. This is going to be a hard check, because this porcupine has never juggled before, right?
3.
You wouldn't even succeed at an easy roll. Well, Horatio Hornblower is humiliating himself.
Of course.
Okay, I'm really impressed with the accidental alliterism of that. I was going to try to make another alliterism, but I couldn't.
Okay.
Well, Horatio Hornblower, as he humiliates himself heroically,
okay.
he humanely, I don't know. Just cut this stupid crap.
No, keep going, Cody. It's good. Dude, I think you're onto something.
Oh, yeah. Well, here's the deal. He's like, dang, those squirrels are good. Look at how they juggle the acorns. It's like democracy triumphing over communism once again. I should do that. And he pulls out a couple of his own quills, which I don't know if that's painful for porcupines. I mean, people who touch porcupines get the quills in them, so these quills must come out readily, right?
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm not a porcupine anatomist, but he takes them and he starts trying to juggle them, and he ends up just sort of slicing his own little paws with these quills, and it's very sad. And he is very sad now.
Okay, all right.
And I guess go ahead and make your dexterity modifier -1.
Oh, for all checks, not just porcupine checks.
Yeah, this was a detrimental blow to your group. We have to have consequences in this game, Nate, because there's no consequences in life, so we have to have them in this RPG.
Yeah, I don't appreciate that.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, then obviously I should do something sane with my third character, but I'm not going to, because he's also been watching the squirrels, and he decides that it's not enough that the squirrels are juggling, but in order for there really to be a spectacle for people to watch, it would be a good idea for him to juggle the squirrels while they're juggling the acorns or the volleyballs, whatever. So that's what he's decided to do.
All right. I guess make a dexterity roll. Okay, we'll be nice since your group isn't actually a group yet. We won't let that negative modifier yet affect this dexterity roll.
Okay.
So we'll just make this a medium, because I feel like juggling squirrels for a badger might be a little bit easier than a porcupine juggling quills.
I don't even know how to comment on that. Maybe. I really don't know.
I'm trying to be nice here. I want you to actually succeed.
Well, it's all up to the die anyway. So
okay,
it's a 7.
Oh, you got a 7?
Yeah.
Good work, man. Look
is that
at
the minimum? Was it a medium check?
That was exactly the minimum. I don't know why I'm congratulating you as if you did anything. All you did was roll a die with a 1 in 12 chance of, well, 5 and 12. Yeah. And you did it. So it's good, man. I'm proud of you. Yay.
Thanks.
Well, this badger way down is way up there juggling squirrels. And he's doing just fine. And the squirrels are continuously juggling their acorns / volleyballs while they are being juggled. And this has become an exponentially more impressive display.
Thank you.
I would think that Jack the Sparrow gets even deeper in thought, and Horatio Hornblower the Porcupine maybe cheers up just a little bit as he is taken in awe at this spectacle. How should I reward you with this? I don't want to just give you an increase to your stats.
Well, you could negate the
the -1.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and do that, because maybe Horatio Hornblower, maybe he perks up. He gets inspired by this. And maybe he's not a better juggler, but he goes and he gets some arnica cream or something to put on his paws, and he feels better about himself, and your dexterity is now 0 again.
I'm not sure how I feel about the design of, if you roll low, your stats decrease. If you roll high, your stats increase.
Well, we're not really in the game yet. This is prologue going on down here.
Okay.
This is world building. All right, you got your stats all nice and updated and pretty?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. Well, enough of this. Suddenly, bang and crash and zip and sing. There's weird, crazy human sounds getting thrown around, and a bunch of scientists suddenly break into the clearing, scattering all the groups of squirrels that have been juggling, or been juggled as they juggle, and they collapse, and it's very sad, and they go scampering away. And the scientist Flash! There's a net in the air, and he's caught himself one of the squirrels. And everybody is now panicking and making their respective animal-like sounds because no one speaks a common language in here, even though somehow you understand each other. Nate, what do you do?
My instinct is to fight, but considering how the health and combat system works in this, and you said the scientists have a +4 modifier
To all stats, yeah.
which feasibly, based on my history, as long as they roll at least a 4, I'll lose. So
Pretty much.
I feel like fighting is probably not the smartest. I feel like I should flee in most cases rather than fight. So I think... Okay. Horatio and Jack are already going to take off. Down under, way down.
Way down under.
Way down.
Even
is
more
going
south
to-
than Australia.
Yeah, way down under. He's going to he's already holding the squirrels, so he's just going to chuck them, the squirrels he's juggling, he's going to chuck them at the nearest scientist, and then also take off. Tuck tail.
It seems a little sinister, at least for the squirrels. It's a little sad.
Well, he's a sadist, so...
Ah, that's right. How do I forget about good old Way Down the Badger? Okay, make a dexterity roll, a medium dexterity roll to throw this squirrel.
6.
Ah,
That's
okay.
a fail.
You throw the squirrel and it goes sailing past the ear of one of the scientists.
Past the ear. Okay.
And yeah, good old past the ear. That's,
But what about the acorn that squirrel was holding?
That got left behind. The squirrel just kind of dropped it when you picked him up to throw him.
That's fair.
He's not going to hold on to his acorns while he's getting catapulted through the air. And the scientist turns and he looks down at you, little Way Down the Badger, and he's going to swipe at you with his net. And let's see.
I'm just gonna run.
Okay, all right. I'll just make him make a roll then. Our badgers are fairly agile, are they not?
I believe so.
Okay. We'll start this off just so you don't die really quickly. It's going to be a difficult check for him to make.
That's fair.
You got a nat 12, man.
All right, can I contend at all? Can I roll like a dexterity or something?
Yeah, let's go ahead and do that.
I don't think it's going to matter.
Make your dexterity check. Just get a 10 or higher.
2. Oh no.
Okay. The scientist steps over and he swings his net down with fearful efficiency and skill.
Yeah.
And he snags you. You're now caught in a net. Okay. Nate, we'll give you one more chance. If you'd like to claw your way out or do something to get out of this.
I thought maybe Jack has noticed this and he's going to maybe come back and like swoop down and try and cut the net or something.
Okay, a group effort.
Yeah.
Where's Horatio in all this?
He's still running.
Okay, good for him.
Yeah. He has pretty self-preservation instincts.
You'll at least have 1 health remaining potentially after this scenario. Okay, Jack the Sparrow. I suppose you have a sharp beak-ish.
That's what I was thinking.
Somewhat impressive talons. I mean, sparrows have those good beaks for chopping up sunflower seeds. It's how they operate, man. It's how God made them. I don't know if they have really strong talons, though. Do sparrows even have talons?
He's going with the beak, for sure.
Okay. We're getting way too sidetracked with this. Jack the Sparrow comes swooping down. He is a bird, and he's well-trained for aerobatics and whatnot. Make an easy dexterity check.
Okay. Also, all my stats have no modifiers yet, so it's kind of...
Exactly, yeah.
4...
That's what you needed. 4+.
Oh, really? Okay, my God.
Yeah. It's 4, 7, and 10.
Is my highest roll a 7 still? I think it is. All right.
Yeah, I think it is. That's good. Okay, Jack the Sparrow swings down to his buddy Way Down the Badger and snips through the net. Fearsome efficiency. He could have rolled higher. He could have done even better, but he did the bare minimum to save this badger. And Way Down, you can now escape if you'd like.
That's what I would like.
I suppose just start running.
Yeah.
Maybe the scientist staked down this net in a quick moment and pulled out another net so he could try capturing another creature. So he didn't think that you were just going to cut through the net.
He just took off also. Okay.
These are not well-trained scientists. Let's just say that.
Okay.
In the way that scientists should be trained.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah, okay. Okay. Your creatures escape. Yay. Now you're running frantically through the forest after such a harrowing experience of almost being captured by a scientist for who knows what sort of dastardly experiments they were going to run you through. You're now faced with stage 1, the forest.
Ooh, okay.
Okay, what you got to do in the forest, Nate, is your overall goal is to make it up the mountain and awaken the bear god and appease him to make him fight your battles for you and slaughter the scientists. But first, you need something to wake up the bear god because he is in a deep sleep, a deep rest.
Naturally.
But here in the forest, there are a couple different options for things that make noise that you could use other than your own chattering mouths. Because he doesn't care. He's tuned that out at this point. There are some pots and pans at a nearby campsite that you could probably bang together. There are a couple rocks from a nearby rock pile. And you know that when you smash rocks together, it makes noise. And there is a noisy bug, whom you know as Jeff, who lives in a nearby bush. What would you like to choose?
Well, it depends on who you ask, Cody. And I don't know if I've told you this yet, but my three characters operate as kind of a pyramidical brain as opposed to a hemispherical brain.
Okay.
If that makes sense. So like your normal brain has a left side and a right side, right? And those are, like the left side is the more logical, mathematical, whatever. And the right side is the more creative, artistic. And so Jack the Sparrow represents the left brain still. He's very like logical. And Horatio Hornblower it represents the right side. He's more artistic and he cares about like the meaning, and things. But like then you've got Way Down, and Way Down kind of is the wild card section of the brain.
Yes.
So it's kind of like a hive mind almost. And so he's just a wild card. He kind of just does whatever.
All right. No, I'm going to stop you right there. I'm Googling wild card section of the brain. Nope, this is not a thing, Nate. You're making stuff up again.
Oh dear, am I? I think that's the purpose of this entire recording, Cody, is to make stuff up. So
I'll allow it.
Jack the Sparrow thinks that it makes the most sense to bang the pots and pans together because they're going to make the most noise and they're most durable. Mm-hmm. The porcupine Horatio wants to use the rocks because he thinks that it's symbolic, or it's very like using the rocks to awaken the bear god. It's all nature. We're not using man-made products to awaken the bear god. And Way Down would like to go visit the bug because he likes his bug friend, possibly because he sells weed on the side to him sometimes. Yes. And so that's where his vote is. But they put their three heads together so that they can operate as one, as one creature. And they decide that pots and pans makes the most sense. And so they decide to go with that because it does make the most noise. And so they're kind of keeping they're all able to keep their eyes on the goal, which is to wake the bear up.
All right. And you're not at all daunted by the fact that you're going to have to carry these pots and pans up a mountain.
I don't see how that
could. Okay. Sounds great. Okay. You make your way to the campsite and you're hiding in a bush and you look out and you see that this campsite is currently inhabited by 2 scientists. It's almost like they planned this thing. They're in on it. This is their little base of operations. These 2 scientists, they're definitely nerds because they're scientists. And they're doing standard scientist things. One has a test tube that he's shaking around for reasons. It's actually empty, but maybe he just wants to make sure it's really clean. Who knows? Who knows the ways of the scientist, Nate?
Well, they're not well trained, as we already established. So.
Exactly, yeah, for really anything. The other scientist has a microscope, and he's kind of looking at a leaf. It almost seems like more this is his rec time. And he's just kind of, wonder what a leaf looks like under a microscope, man. That's actually what he says out loud.
He has a whole microscope?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's battery powered.
I don't think microscopes need to be powered at all.
They do if they're electron microscopes, I think.
I'm not well trained enough to participate in this conversation.
Wait, we're going to Google this right now. Do
It's very important.
electron microscopes need power? High voltage electricity supply powers the cathode. So yes, he has he just has a car battery out there.
All right, I'm glad
There's
we
an electron
established this.
microscope. Yep. What's your plan of attack?
Okay, we need pots and pans.
Oh, sorry. There's a little fire pit right there,
Okay.
sort of between the two of them, with some pots and pans in it.
So the plan is for Way Down to get really close to both the scientists, and it's still hidden in the shrubbery, and start singing his rendition of Ave Maria. And the other two are going to go in and get some pots and pans.
What does a badger singing Ave Maria sound like?
Have you ever heard like an animal that is in like unbearable pain? Okay, well, pretend that you have, and then
Maybe?
multiply that by like 4. And that's more or less the ballpark.
Insert sound effect here.
Please no.
Okay, that's a great sound. So Way Down's going to be the distractor. Is that what's going on here?
Yeah. He's the diversion.
Making this weird stuff. Okay. I don't know if these scientists speak Badger, so who knows if they'll be able to recognize Ave Maria or not. But you start making this ruckus, and the scientists look up from their respective impressive experiments, and they go like, "Hey, what's that sound? Wow, is that Okay, hey, look here. See, if like a badger could sing, and they decided to sing Ave Maria, I feel like that could be what's going on down here." And the other scientists like, "Yeah, man." And they start walking.
Remarkably intuitive, this guy.
And they start walking towards the sound of a badger singing Ave Maria.
Okay. Well, before Way Down gets nabbed, the other two are going to dive in and get some pots and pans for sure.
Okay. Nate, I forgot to remind you, because we split this into a double recording due to technical difficulties, but you may have forgotten that you can roll twice. Basically, you have advantage on any action that you can argue your woodland creature would be naturally skilled at, and then you just get to take the higher of the two rolls. So if you want to make this more a strength thing and like go with the porcupine, or make this more a dexterity thing and go with the sparrow, like just because he can fly, you can make that argument and then potentially get advantage if what you say is reasonable. So
Okay.
how you want to do that?
Well, in retrospect, having a sparrow pick up a pot or a pan probably was not the greatest idea, but I'm already in. So maybe we're gonna get one pan and one like ladle or metal spoon or something, because that'll be just as effective.
That's true.
But I don't think I have any way to argue that they would be ideal for this task. So
Okay, no problem. I guess just go ahead and make a... We're going to go for stealth here, I would imagine, as opposed to speed, which is going to be a dexterity check. Either way, I guess. So go ahead and make...
don't complicate your system too much.
I know, yes, stupid. Only 3 stats. What a lame
All right.
system.
Oh my goodness.
Medium
Am I rolling
difficulty.
a D7 or a... Okay. I got a 3.
Are you sure you can get something higher than a 7 on that die?
That's why I don't know, man. Yeah, I got a 3.
Well, you get to the implements there. Let's say that the sparrow seizes the ladle because he's a little bit lighter, and conceivably maybe a sparrow could carry a ladle, even if a hummingbird can't carry a coconut. And
No
the
idea what you're talking
porcupine,
about.
the porcupine grabs a pan. We'll say that it's not a non-stick pan because sometimes those are pretty heavy if they're like the really nice, dense versions. And you've acquired your stuff, but inadvertently you make some noise in the process, and the scientist, or one of the scientists, turns back. So one scientist is now approaching way down still. I'm assuming he's still singing his beautiful song. And the other scientist is now... He looks over and he sees that these darn forest creatures are stealing our stuff again.
Okay. I think what's the distance? How far
Distance.
away are the scientists from the pots and pans?
We'll say this is a picturesque campsite clearing, and maybe you have 10 feet to get from like the center of the camp out to the nearest brush pile and start running away. And the scientists are perhaps 6 feet from you.
Well, I feel a good roll coming. So
Do you now?
I think Horatio is going to turn and fire at this guy for the face. He's aiming for the face.
What is he throwing?
His tines.
Tines?
Whatever they're called. Are they
Quills?
called tines? Quills. Tines are basically the same thing. Similar word.
Okay, sure. Okay. You know what? You are a porcupine, and I don't think porcupines actually throw their quills.
I thought they did, dude.
Since you are a porcupine, I'll give you advantage on this roll.
Advantage. Okay, so I can roll twice.
Yeah, it's 6 foot. We'll just keep this a medium check for this distance.
Okay.
So
First roll is a
7 or
6. That's not
Nope.
Good. Second roll is also a 6. It's unbelievable.
Come on. Okay. You shoot these quills and they just kind of fly past the scientist's ear once again. There's something just strangely reverse magnetic about scientist ears, I suppose, that they just keep deflecting projectiles. Maybe they have some sort of fancy helmet on that everything's bouncing off of. Yeah. All these scientists are wearing ballistic helmets.
Ballistic helmets.
Just cuz. With a riot shield mask over the front.
I'm picturing a very different thing than I was 30 seconds ago.
Well, they also have lab coats on. It's a very complicated picture. They're diversely trained.
That's fair.
And the scientist just starts sprinting at you guys now. He's like, not the quills again. I don't know why my voice keeps changing. I just keep forgetting what my previous voice sounds like.
Okay.
Darn you, porcupine. I'm going to get you, and you're going to be dinner.
All right. I think the porcupine's just going to take one of his pot or pan, whatever he decides to take, and just run.
Yeah. Okay. This is going to be a contested dexterity roll. I'll say that Jack can get out of there because he can just kind of fly away.
Okay.
So the scientist is going to roll his dexterity, which remember is +4. And you go ahead and roll your dexterity.
What could possibly go wrong?
What'd you get?
Only what you would expect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a 1? Okay. What's really sad about this is the scientist also got a 1, but he has +4 to that, so he got a 5. Oh, man.
Okay,
Nate,
wait.
What?
Haven't we
What?
said in the past that, I don't know how this system works, but...
Are you trying to retcon this terrible situation right now?
No. Well, maybe. In general, modifiers don't apply to nat 1s or nat 12s. So, in essence, we rolled the same thing. I feel like we should roll again. Usually it's like, oh, you rolled a nat 1. It's a nat 1 no matter what, you know?
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of different for D20 systems, though. This is a D12 system.
Yeah, the odds are a little different.
Nat 1s or nat 12s. Nah, man, I normally I'm pretty nice, but just for the sake of drama, I have to be mean about this. We got to make stuff happen. Also, it's you've gotten through a bunch of bad rolls, so I'm just going to make you deal with the consequences of your pseudo actions that aren't really your fault.
I'm gonna try to go through the rest of this scenario, this entire scenario, rolling as little as possible.
Okay,
We'll just make it like a role playing session.
That's probably smart.
Tabletop
Yeah.
role playing session.
Just lots of dialogue and whatnot.
Yeah.
Well, scientist, he has another net in hand because he's not going to try to grab a porcupine with his hands. That's not ideal. And he swings the net down and he nabs your little porcupine friend, who I almost just called Honeydew for some reason. Horatio Hornblower, that's his name, not Honeydew. And Horatio has been trapped, Nate. And this is a bit more final. This scientist knows what he's doing, and he immediately throws an extra net covering thing. It's made out of really strong foil, I suppose. It's this metal thing, and the porcupine has been captured. And Jack Sparrow is very sad, and the badger is also very sad. Impressive storytelling, am I right? Speaking of that badger, are you going to get out of there, man? The scientist still walking towards your bush.
Can I make one last-ditch effort to try and rescue Horatio?
Sure. On the part of the badger, you mean?
Yeah.
Sure. I guess tell me what you're going to do with this, and we'll see how that happens.
So, badgers burrow. They live underground in tunnels. And so he's going to try and dig expediently, right underneath to where where Horatio is, making the nets irrelevant.
Okay. Since you are a badger and you do dig, I'll let you have advantage on this, but this is going to be a hard check, so you need a 10 or higher.
That's fair. I'll get it. Don't worry about it.
Okay. Roll some good numbers for me, homie.
4.
Yeah.
4. Oh my.
2 4s? Are you sure you actually clicked it?
Yeah.
You keep getting the same numbers in a row, which is kind of useless when you're rolling for advantage.
Yep. Nope, it's a 4, man.
Well, I'll say that you start digging, but you get really turned around while you're in the ground, and you start digging away. So you're getting away, but you're not going towards your porcupine friend. And at this point, the scientists have wrangled him into a little container.
Oh man.
And he's in a maximum security prison for porcupines now.
Nope. You win some, you lose some.
So at this point, you don't have that pot or pan. You do have a ladle. Yeah, you have a ladle, the thingy, the metal thingy that you can use.
Well, better than nothing.
I keep blanking out when you're Horatio Hornblower. That's right.
Yeah.
Horatio,
well, you won't need to remember much longer.
Yeah. Horatio from his cage says, "Remember me, my brethren. Remember me." Dear listeners, you have been listening to the Dicecast, a sub-series of the Tabletop Shop podcast, a place where some dreams come true and some don't. We'd ask that you like, comment, and subscribe, because if you don't, then who will? You can also reach out to us if you'd like at tabletopshop23@gmail.com. We'll get your message, and we'll probably respond. Keep an eye out for the next episode, and we'll find out together how this story ends.